If you're not changing something, then you're choosing. It is easier to notice negative traits on other people than on yourself, because mostly we're like on a player mode. We are not observer mode. And if you're still in a phase where you're not sure what are your wounded feminine traits, look at your mother, look at your grandmother, and women around you. How do they live? And find differences between more successful women and more happier women and miserable women. And, it was really hard at first to tell what was wrong with me, but I could sense that I was not happy with so many things. For example, my dating life, my self-image, like how I was treated, how I treated others. I didn't like any of it. And I live with this sentence in my head. It is stuck with me as soon as I heard it. Like, if you're not changing something, then you're choosing. And I really didn't want to choose something that didn't make me happy. There are tons of them, but today I'm gonna share 6 major signs with you that are screaming that you need to heal them ASAP so you reach your fullest potential. First, and one of the most annoying things ever, is good girl syndrome. And let me explain what it means. If you've never heard about it, it's basically when you're unable to say no. But sometimes it is so subconscious when you can't say no. It's not even a conscious decision that you're not going to say no, okay? When I think about it, I've done that so much in my life with friends, with men. Probably you were growing up with very difficult parents, like you have very difficult people around you while you were growing up. And that was the case with me, to be honest. And it was so hard for me not to not please someone, because I was used to pleasing people all the time. Since I literally started talking, I needed this for survival. This syndrome makes you say yes every time instead of no, when actually saying no would benefit you better. You avoid expressing your true needs, and your primal habit is to do this. You're used to doing this, and it's easier and more comfortable to do this rather than get into conflict and say no and be like a bad girl, or, get into conflict. I know that you might be avoiding to be difficult or selfish, and it feels like being selfless means lovable, but it's not like that at all. Let me break it to you. Imagine a baby. Is baby lovable? Is the baby deserving? Why? Is the baby doing something to be lovable and deserving? No, it just is. Exactly same applies to you as well. You don't need to be doing all the time. You don't need to be pleasing everyone else in order to be lovable and deserving. But most of the time it is such a surface level habit that we're not even considering it as something crazy, It's been like this for our whole life. But that is exactly why you need to change it. People do not change. That is why they stay in the loop. They stay the same, and they have same miserable experiences all the time throughout their life. And that is what you don't want for yourself. I know if you're here listening to this, I know you woke up, but you need to be practicing being selfish, a little bit more selfish, and breaking this good girl syndrome every single day. Prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your time, prioritizing being selfish, actually. It's not that bad, believe me. I'm so proud of you that you're seeking answers and you try your best to come out of this primal habits that you have, that you know exactly that they're not going to benefit you on a long run. Exactly for that reason, I decided to create a free guide, how to heal your feminine energy. And I have all these signs broken down there. It is pretty easy and understandable guide. What are the actual signs of blocked feminine energy and how to unblock them. I also put bonus facts and sources in the last chapter of the book. And I really, really hope you enjoy. The link is below in the description, so you can download it right now if you want to, but I recommend you to listen to this first and then download your free guide. You have this belief in your subconscious mind that you are a good girl. Obviously, it naturally takes me to the second sign, which is fear of conflict. I've been avoiding conflict at all costs. So I had this coping mechanism to make everything better. I was this part that put the fire out. And I've had this role since I was a kid. I hated confronting people. I hated it. Not only in relationships, but outside relationships as well. Even in everyday life. If I would go out and something not really pleasant would happen to me, I would just shut up, I preferred to not start a conflict. It's like when somebody crosses your boundaries, you're silent. Suppressing your truth causes the resentment. Can you remember anyone from your family or friends or anyone you know, especially women, that have this suppressed anger, suppressed resentment that they live with? And it's really not pleasant. Not only for you, but people around you are also suffering. Because this suppressed anger and resentment takes us to the next sign, which is manipulative behavior. Since honest communication and confronting doesn't really feel safe for you, you express your needs indirectly. And now that I remember, it was definitely not intentional to manipulate people. And manipulating people doesn't mean that like you're doing some evil stuff. No, it can be as simple as silent treatment, okay? Or guilt trapping someone, because I've done that myself. So again, it comes from deeper wounds that you need to take care of. So if you need any kind of manipulative behavior or action towards anyone in your life right now in order to get something you deserve or you want, it is time to work on your feminine energy. And obviously I'm going to talk about it later in the video. My whole life I was too independent. Like, I was overly independent. Anytime somebody asked me like, do you need help? I was refusing it. Because I was like, no, I can do it myself. Yeah, girl, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to all the time. But it was so hard for me to receive. I cannot tell you. I was just not used to receiving help. As long as I remember, I've been the one solving everything myself. So it also becomes your habit to stay in your masculine energy. And to be honest, it is really unattractive for men. Not that it is the most important thing, but opposites attract, right? So if you want someone really masculine and in their masculine energy, healed masculine energy, they're not gonna fall for masculine energy. They're gonna fall for someone who is exactly opposite, right? There are so many things that can get on your way and make you feel really miserable, unhappy, unseen, unheard. But more I work on my feminine energy, the easier it is to be a woman, because we're naturally receivers, okay? And you need to work on receiving, to be okay with it, to receive help, to ask for help. And that is one of the signs you know that you're healed, if you can boldly and confidently ask for help. It's not end of the world. We are all here because we need each other. And especially as women, we should be able to receive. It is our destiny. That is why you're here. But there is a second polarity to this topic, which is overly dependent. For example, if there is someone too needy of attention. Like when I say you need to ask for help or receive help, it doesn't mean that you should overly be dependent on that. Overly dependent person is someone who is anxiously attached to somebody's opinion, somebody doing something for them. And I've personally had a friend, I attracted this person because I was in my like masculine energy in that part where I literally could do anything and mommy anyone and anything. This girl was so wounded that it was just like a heaven to find me in her life, that I was, doing everything for her. Literally. I was kind of manipulated into like giving all my attention and time to her and mommying her. And on the first stages, we were both happy because we're in our natural habitat, but throughout time, it got really annoying for me. I don't know, maybe it got annoying for her too, but it didn't show at least. But I was so suffocated that I need to break it somehow. And Unfortunately, it didn't end well, and yeah, I'm not proud of it, because I was younger and I would do things differently if it happened to me this today, for example. But yeah, it naturally cannot happen to you when you're healed. So basically, if you're any of the polarities, you're going to attract people with opposite damaged energy, which makes the situation even worse. Since none of the sides are healed, we get victim-villain dynamics. It is what it is. We needed to go through all that, and we are attracting these people, these wounded people, in order to wake up. You need this hard and difficult and rough experiences in order to wake up. The fifth sign is fear of vulnerability, and I'm still battling with it. And it was so hard for me to cry in front of others. Like, even my closest, bestest friends have never seen me crying, because I just couldn't. Like, what if this person thinks I'm weak? Like, I didn't want people to see me as a weak person, because I had to be really, really strong as a kid. But you could be locking up different kinds of emotions, like all of them, whoever you're watching. Like, this could be not able to express your anger, express your sadness. And in my case, it wasn't anger at all. Like, I had really bad anger issues as a teenager, and probably I was masking my sadness with anger, so people wouldn't say, you're f***ing weak. Like, I don't know what I don't even know what I was thinking at that point, because I was just scared that I would be seen weak. So instead, I was bottling things up, and that's probably what's happening to you as well. And it is so easy to numb yourself with distractions. And this could block intimacy and true connection. Not only connection with others, like maybe romantic connections, but connection with yourself, which is the most needed in order to heal all the things that hold you back from succeeding in life, in love, and literally in every aspect of your life. The sixth sign is broken intuition. It is most not obvious sign, I would say, because we're taught that in order to succeed in life, in literally anything, you need to work hard. Yes, working hard is absolutely necessary, but not in the part where you do stuff physically. Believe me, working on yourself and your traits and habits and negative beliefs need a hard work. It is so easy to notice whatever's in front of you, like physically, than whatever's hidden. And that is true power, to notice whatever needs hard work inside of you, not outside of you. And that is when feminine energy is literally so blocked that we just act like men in a lot of areas of your life. For example, your work. Oh, hey guys, it's me again. I had some technical issues, and I'm also on my period, so I decided to express my frustration, and I took a break. So now we're continuing again. I remember I stopped when I was talking about hard work, and yes, it is true that it is so many women's problem that we take on exactly same kind of issues and with exactly same energy as men in corporate world. And here is the video I talked about 2 weeks ago, and you can watch that. And it is especially unfair for women, corporate world, and we're treated exactly same as men. It is pretty complex topic, which I'm not gonna dive into in this video. But yeah, it's like we believe in logic more than our intuition. That happens when your feminine energy is not working properly as it should. It's kind of blocked, when you trust your logic more than your intuition. Like, we're very, very intuitive beings. Guys, we have literal portal in between our legs. It's like we're a creative force, We give birth to a new human being. We are the creative force. And when I felt my best and when I achieved the most, when I actually trusted my intuition and not my logic, as soon as you shift your energy from like physical hard work, like you know what I mean in physical hard work, like working hard externally, like for example at your job or whatever, if you want to get something, if you want some kind of result and you are like physically getting tired because of it, it's more of like forcing outcomes instead of allowing, like receiving some guidance from the universe. And it's not just blah blah blah, and it's not just woo woo talking. Believe me, as soon as you shift your energy from forcing everything to make sense to trusting your gut and trusting your intuition, trusting your feminine guidance, everything changes immediately. Everything comes more easily, effortlessly. You manifest your dreams more effortlessly. And I know it is the hardest job, believe me. It is easy to work hard and work your ass off. It is easy because that is what you see outside externally. It is easy to like make sense of what you're seeing than what you're not seeing, and that is the divine feminine energy. You're trusting something you know internally, not something that you see externally. It is sometimes very hard to believe that it is true, whatever my gut says. That yes, new job is coming, or a new source of income is coming, or what should I do in order to achieve my goals. Whatever your gut says is what's right, not what somebody tells you. Like for example, yeah, if you switch from being a lawyer to, I don't know, doctor, then you will have more money. It's all about external work, according to people, which is not true. It is all about your internal work. Because of that, feminine energy stuck in hustle mode. But true feminine lies into intuition and believing and ease, which then gives you alignment. So I'm gonna share a few actionable steps which helped me immensely throughout years. So here's the first thing that requires the most energy, which is healing your inner child. The easiest way to understand what's wrong with your inner child is to go back in past and dig deeper into whatever's wrong with your childhood. You need to define those traumas that are still present in your life right now and are controlling you. To be totally honest with you, the best way is to go to therapy. But obviously, if you're not on that level yet to give your resources to a therapist, let me tell you, and what I always say is internet is your best friend. There is literally every kind of information about your traumas. The only work you will need to do is to define your traumas. And all you need then is to search up on YouTube. There are tons of therapists willing to help people totally for free on YouTube. That's how I started to come out of this situation and understand my traumas and why I was acting and feeling the way I was acting and feeling. So meditating and affirmations can literally rewire your brain. And I know it is very cliche nowadays to like, yeah, meditate, affirmations, you need affirmations, girl. Yeah, I'm pretty, it's not just fluff words, believe me. If you do that every morning, as soon as you wake up and right before you go to sleep, it rewires your brain. Your reality is gonna shift slowly but surely. Second is to connect with your body. Feminine energy lives in the body. You need to kind of reconnect your body-mind connection. And mostly worst times in my life was when I was not connected with my body, meaning I was not working out, I was not pursuing my hobbies. Yeah, I didn't prioritize being active. You need to shake up your energy in order to connect with your femininity. It will help you feel at home with yourself and be more present. Next step is to make self-care your priority. No matter what is going on, you prioritize your self-care. Even if you're traveling, even if you have guests over, even if you're staying at someone else's house, I don't care. Your self-care, you need to have a ritual that is gonna make you feel better. I don't know what it's gonna be for you. For example, for me, it is having my candles lit and my Palo Santo burning while I'm reading book or journal right after I got out of shower and got my skincare done. You gotta find yours if you haven't yet, and always prioritize it. You need to make your evenings and mornings more fresh and playful. No matter what happens, you still do it, girl. It is a signal to your subconscious mind that you're worthy of love and softness. Next is to practice gratitude. To shift from scarcity to abundance, you need to notice abundance first and be grateful for it. Like, how many times have you this feeling of being so lucky to have water at home? Having as much water as you want is already something that you can be so grateful about throughout the day. Having electricity, having bed, having a comfy bed to sleep on, having clothes you like, having skincare you like and helps you, having food. Like, there's so many things that we consider as usual thing. It's like a bare minimum as we would consider, but these things are abundance already, and more you notice them, more they will come to you. They will multiply, literally. Every single day, find 3 things that you're grateful for. It could be literally so stupid. It doesn't matter what it is. It can't be stupid, by the way. If you would see my list, you would think like, this girl is cray-cray, but you know, I'm grateful for these little things. I'm so grateful for candles. I'm so grateful for rainy weather. I'm so grateful for sunshine, yellow color. I love pencils. Like, how would I color my mandalas without it? I'm so grateful I have feet because I can dance. You know, there's a lot of things you could be grateful for. It is the evidence when you're writing down that these things happen around you. And you're so grateful for them that universe sends you even more. Next one is setting boundaries. Stop saying yes when you want to say no, even if it means the conflict, because boundaries will protect your peace. You prioritize your boundaries in yourself, others do too. You are with yourself the whole your life, not others. People come and go, even family members. Like, you're not tied to anyone else besides yourself. So please do yourself a favor and become your best friend. Next and very obvious one is to trust your intuition, which I already mentioned is not easy to do. But you know what? Difficult thing to do and right thing to do are the same. Your intuition already has answers, but you cannot receive these answers without trusting yourself, the universe, and practicing all the other steps that I've mentioned. We'll get stronger and stronger every time you choose to trust it. It is so good to meditate on your 3rd eye chakra, which is here, and solar plexus chakra, which is, you know, I have everything in my free guide mentioned and explained, which you can download right now and check all the things that I've mentioned. I have literally step-by-step guide made for you. I even gave you all the meditations that I have personally used in my life that helped me. So yeah, check it out. And yeah, so what I was saying is that it is really nice to meditate on your 3rd eye and solar plexus chakras if you have a hard time trusting your gut and intuition. As soon as stagnant energy starts to unblock, the energy circulates even better and it becomes easier for you to trust yourself. Next is to balance between play and work. Hustle culture literally kills feminine energy. Allow yourself to rest, create, and enjoy as much as you can. And even if you can't quit hustle culture yet, just yet, feminine is very playful. It is just ease. It's enjoyment. You're meant to create and enjoy present moment. I know it's hard to believe, but let me break it to you. It's like that. That is how healed feminine energy works. Next is to invest in your appearance. And not for men, not for women, not for anyone else, but for yourself. The better you feel about yourself, the more magnetic you are. That is undeniable, right? We all know that. I don't know anyone who feels really bad about themselves and they feel like they're shitty and they're a shitty person and they look ugly and others feel different way about them. I just never had this, like, have you? So that is why you need to invest in your appearance. And investing doesn't mean only resources and money. You need to invest your time. For example, even if you're not going anywhere else in the morning, you still decide to do your makeup or like feel good or whatever makes you feel better. Like if you're put together, then it makes you feel better throughout the day, no matter if you're going somewhere important or not. And last but not least, 9th tip from me is to let them, which is not my theory. Like, it's not, I'm not the first person saying this. Like, it is something I've heard from Mel Robbins, and I love her. She's so cool. But people are underestimating this concept of letting them. If they want to leave you, let them leave you. If somebody already can see your value, let them. Because if somebody can see your value, most probably they will never do it. So why not let go of them? Just first of all, let them and then let go of them. There's always someone who can respect your time and energy. If they do not respect you, let them miss out. Healed feminine energy doesn't force and doesn't chase. Have you ever seen flower fly to the bee and convince the bee that it has such a wonderful juices inside? No, right? It is probably not even the half of the things I wanted to say, but this video would be like 100 years long if I didn't define the most important things that you need to start with in order to heal your feminine energy. And it will be very, very useful if you would download my free guide that I already mentioned before in the video, because I even have the diagram of healing journey, like what phases are there to heal your feminine energy. And it is quite interesting, I would say, and useful as well. If I had this guide, it would be probably easier for me to put my intentions like step by step, you know. Where should I start, you know? It took me a while to understand what was going on, what I need to put my attention to the most. So yeah, I'm sure you're not gonna regret downloading this free guide, which it's not gonna be free forever. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, this time I hope you will enjoy this free guide as well as this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!